A simple-to-use smartphone AI noise reduction microphone. Let's check it out. Dave Taylor here, and sometimes I'm in a noisy environment. Like right now, you can hear all the people around me. It's just a noisy environment. And what you really want is a microphone that can get rid of all that, so you can just have your voice being recorded when you're doing something on your smartphone, like talking to someone or recording a video. Now, I have a secret feature because I can actually just stop the background noise, because it is a simulated background noise. But in a lot of situations, you're recording video content or recording audio content, and you can't turn off that background. Enter this. This is the IMISES S1 Mini mobile phone microphone. And as you can see, it's USB-C, and that's it. It's super simple. There's no battery, there's no connectors, there's no buttons, there's no software, you don't need an app. You just plug this thing in and it improves your audio recordings. Now, this is on Kickstarter, and so this is a preview. This is not a review, this is a production prototype. But I have been having a lot of fun with it, and it's really pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a variety of different background noises that I'm playing to simulate being in different environments. And we're just going to use my iPhone 15 Pro, and I'm going to record myself talking over different environments just using the built-in microphone. Then we'll plug in the S1 Mini, and we'll hear how that does with those recordings. So let's get started. So I'll be switching the audio source. Right now, what you're hearing is my voice is picked up by my iPhone, and you can see I'm pretty close, but there's no background noise. But instead of that, let's go to the ocean. And this is pretty darn loud. Let's turn this down a little bit. I think if the ocean was that loud, I would be standing in the waves. So this is probably more realistic. So here's the background. And you can hear me talking, and the iPhone doesn't have any noise reduction algorithms. So everything you're hearing is everything it's picking up. So now let's try a different environment. And instead of it being at the ocean, how idyllic that was. We are now in a big windy storm. Turn the volume up a bit. And you can hear the wind howling through the cracks in the house, and it's not a pleasant day by any means. And if this was 3 in the morning, the candles would be flickering and it'd be a perfect setting for a horror movie. But more importantly, the phone is doing nothing to help me out here. One more example. This one's even more fun. This is a recording of street traffic in India, and you'll hear there's lots of honking horns. So this is probably the toughest environment for a noise reduction system, as we'll find out. But for now, the iPhone's doing nothing. It's just saying, hey, here's all this audio I'm picking up. So I guess it's kind of doing its job. But now I'm going to stop. We're going to plug in the S1 Mini, and then I'm going to go back through all these different sound samples, and we'll hear how that works. So let's go back. What's nice is that the way these systems work is that the phone has automatically detected that there's an external microphone, so that's what we're using. Now, let's go back to that noisy ocean, because let's hear how this one does. And that one is the loudest of my samples. So let me turn it down a little bit, but it's now playing, and I'll just stop talking. You can't hear anything. While I'm talking, some sound can creep in, but it's quite remarkable. Now let's go to that howling wind, and again, you're not going to hear anything. I'm hearing the wind howling and the whistle, and so I'm talking over that background noise, but the S1 Mini is doing its very best to remove all of that from my recording. One more demo. Let's go back to let's see, where are we? The street traffic. And this one is the one it has the hardest time with because, well, the issue is that the horns are a similar frequency to a human voice, so I think it has a harder time differentiating. Let me turn that background noise up a little bit. So I'm basically standing on the side of the road, and it's a noisy road. There's nothing I can do about that. So I'm trying to record myself as best I can with the S1 Mini doing noise reduction. And you're hearing the result. Now, let me switch back to my regular microphone. I think it's a pretty remarkable device. I think that the ease of use here is really, hang on, I don't think we need to be on the street anymore. It's incredibly easy to use. If you have an iPhone, if you have an Android phone, any USB-C connector, you can just plug this in and boom, it's a plug and play device. It'll know what to do. The company's even going to have a lightning adapter. So if you have an older iPhone with a lightning connector, there'll be a little adapter you can add to it and then plug that into your lightning connector iPhone and get that same instant easy microphone. So AI noise reduction, it does all sorts of really fancy processing on board, which is really kind of remarkable because this is a pretty small device. This is pretty darn easy to work with. This would be so easy to have in your kit, whether you carry a tripod with you or whatever. Really easy to use. Has about a 6 meter, 19-foot range. Obviously, the further you are away from your device, the harder a time it is catching your voice and being able to differentiate it from all the other noise around you. So if you're at a rave and everyone's screaming and yelling and hollering around you, it's going to be really hard for it to only understand you and pick up your voice. But in an environment like that, that's kind of part of the, is fun the right word? Might depend on your interpretation. But suffice to say, I'm really impressed. I really like devices like this where the use case is pretty broad, where the usability is really high and the cost is really low. So this is definitely one that you'll want to check out if you do any sort of recording with your devices while you are out and about rather than in a quiet recording studio. Now, it is on Kickstarter, but before I get there and talk about the anticipated price, I'm going to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Click or tap on that subscribe button, hit that bell icon for notifications of my new content, and give me a thumbs up if this was of value. Certainly hope it was. Oh, and here's a couple of quick close-up photos. There's really not much to see here, but I will give them enormous props that on the bottom, there's also a USB connector, so you can plug this into your phone, for example, and then plug in a charging cable, and it still works perfectly fine. So this doesn't isolate your phone from charging. That is really smart design and engineering. Now, let me tell you that the IMISES S1 Mini mobile phone microphone is anticipated to be somewhere around $40 US on Kickstarter. This is subject to whatever they end up putting on the Kickstarter page when it goes live. That lightning adapter, current pricing puts it at about an additional $5. So all of this is incredibly affordable. It's really great pricing. Honestly, I think they could probably price this at $79 and it would still be a good deal, but $39 or $40, pretty darn sweet. If you miss the Kickstarter campaign, still click on the Kickstarter link in my description and it will take you to their website so that you can order one of these for yourself. As for me, this is going to go into my mobile kit because I am on my way to a couple of different conferences and I will be recording on exhibit floors, and something like this is going to make a big difference. So that's all I got. I think we're going to go back to that traffic in India. Let's get back there if it will do it. There we go. So I'll catch you in my next video.
People